Hi, this is George Alger, and welcome to today's segment of Our Ventura TV. Today we're going to be talking about the California Coastal Horse Rescue Organization. And our guest expert today is Cathy Cunningham, who is the Vice President of this organization. Welcome, Cathy.
Hi, George. Thanks for having me.
So let's jump right into this. What is the California Coastal Horse Rescue Organization?
California Coastal Horse Rescue is a fabulous organization of dedicated volunteers who care for abused, neglected, and slaughter-bound horses. We take them often on the very day they're to be euthanized and help retrain them, to bring them back to health, both spiritually and physically. We then provide training and find them new homes that hopefully will last forever.
So where do these horses come from? How do you hear about them?
They come from a variety of sources. Sometimes we have boarding stables who have an abandoned horse. They'll call us. If we have room, we'll take the horse in. We also work with some of the local animal shelters. We'll take those horses in as well. And people just find us, call us. They've hit hard times. They have to move out of state. They have to get rid of their horse for whatever reason. If we have room, we do our best to take in as many horses as possible.
And where are you located?
We're in Miners Oaks, which is just south of Ojai.
Okay. Now, I imagine there's some capacity issues. I mean, is there a point when you're going to have too many horses?
Right, and we're almost always at capacity. We often have a waiting list because the problem of unwanted horses is huge. And we often have a waiting list of horses that need shelter and they're trying to get in. So our capacity there, we're a small organization, we can only take in about 18 horses at a time because of zoning.
Okay. So when you take in a horse and you're helping them, is there an intent to provide an additional home or another home for the horse, or is yours the home?
Well, there's both. We provide training, which will hopefully, a lot of the horses that come to us may have health issues or behavioral problems, which is why they end up in rescue in the first place. So we work with them really hard to train them, and then we'll try to find them the perfect forever home. If that doesn't work out, we also have sanctuary. So we have some horses that will be with us forever for whatever reason, be it, like I said, an issue where they're not rideable or they're just old and no one wants them. So they'll be with us for the rest of their lives, and they get the same expert training and love and treatment as all the rest.
Okay. Just elaborate a little bit more on what this means by sanctuary. Meaning they're staying on your property, or it's other affiliated properties?
Nope, they stay on our property forever. The volunteers take them out and work them and groom them and, again, treat them just as though they were one of the show horses up for adoption, but they'll just be with us forever. We have several that are like that, one horse was badly abused. And we're hoping that at some point he'll be able to be retrained enough to find a forever home. But a trainer broke his jaw under the guise of training. So he's going to need a very special person if we ever find one. If we don't find one, that horse stays with us for the duration of his life.
Okay. Now, is this a public facility? Is the public welcome to come and see the horses?
Well, we're open to new volunteers the first Saturday of every month. There's an orientation session, and that's when we welcome the public to come in and go through the training, and then they can decide if it's something they want to volunteer with our organization. But they don't just drop in because we're all volunteers, and so we don't have set hours. We can't guarantee that there will always be someone at a time when someone wants to come. So that's why we have the first Saturday of the month set aside for new volunteers.
Good. So now speak to volunteers in general. I imagine you wouldn't mind having more. What might they be doing?
Oh, our volunteers do a variety of things, depends on your horse experience. When I started, I had 0 horse experience. I thought they were just lovely, majestic creatures, and I wanted to get to know them. And so I came and I picked up a muck fork and I started cleaning up. And I still do a lot of that. Every Tuesday afternoon you'll find me there cleaning and feeding. But other things they can do, if you have the experience, you can do some of the training, you can groom them, you can take them for walks, bathe them, just, you know, the wide variety of things that a horse might need have done for him.
Good. Now speak about fundraising.
Well, we are a nonprofit, and we're supported entirely by donations and grants. So we do a lot of fundraising. We have a couple of big events every year. One's called Night of the Horse, and that's usually the last Thursday in February at a Bright Star Saddlery in Agora Hills hosts it for us. It's a lovely place, and it's a wine and cheese reception, and we have a fabulous silent auction, and we do all kind of great stuff to raise money for the horses. And then in April, the last Sunday in April, we have Help a Horse Day, which is in conjunction with the ASPCA. It's a national event, and rescue groups throughout the country participate in hopes of, one, calling awareness to the problem of homeless horses, two, raising funds for your organization, and three, by participating, you get to enter into a grant competition through the ASPCA.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the history of this organization. How long has it been around?
We started in 2000, and we incorporated in 2006. We own our own property. We were blessed to have someone donate a lovely piece of property to us. It's about 9.2 acres.
Do you have expansion plans?
Well, not really at this point, unless we were to get another large grant and we could buy a bigger piece of property. We pretty much max out on our horses where we're at. But the horses also are involved in the community. So it's not just helping horses, we're also helping our community and helping people. For example, we take our horses to church. A local church once a year often holds a collection for us. So we'll take the horse to church and we greet the parishioners as they come in. We go to senior centers, we go to daycare centers. So our horses are on the road. We have a reading program for children to promote literacy. Even very young children who can't, or just starting to read or can't really read, will take a book and sit outside the horse's stall and show the horse the picture, and the horses really seem to like it, and they tell them a story. If they can't read, they make it up. So we do a wide variety of things for our community. Even though we're focused on horses, it's also about the people.
Okay, good. About how many different people are involved right now?
We generally have anywhere between maybe 40 and 50 regular volunteers. We can always use more. Our volunteers are hardworking. A lot of us put in many, many, many hours. It's a labor of love. No one would give up their time with the horses, but we can always use more help.
Good, so let's touch on it a little bit more. Let's suppose someone who's watching this is interested and they're not really connected to anyone that's already associated with the facility. Just walk someone through a hypothetical series of steps on how they might contact the organization and end up doing something. Okay,
quite easy. You would go on our website, which is calcoastalhorserescue.com. Fill out the volunteer paperwork and show up on Saturday morning at 9:30, the first Saturday of the month. You sign the paperwork, we give you a tour, show you some of the different jobs that are available, and you decide if you like it. Very simple. And if you don't want to go online, you can just call, it's 805-649-1090, and someone will get back with you with the information on how to find us that day and make sure that it hasn't changed for some reason. The only time we would change is if there was a holiday.
Good. Okay, now why don't you give us an example of a horse that was rescued and perhaps was later relocated to a permanent home?
We have a lot of kind of sad stories, but I chose a happy one. Started off sad, but it ended up in a good place for this horse. There was a horse who we saved on the day she was to be euthanized, and she was a mess when she came to us. We worked with her for several months. She had an unusual name, so when she was ready to be adopted, we posted her on our website. And this young woman contacted us and said, "Oh my gosh, I knew this horse when she was a year old. She was the horse of a friend of my mom. And I always loved that horse, and I always wanted that horse, but life took everyone in different directions." And she said, "I'm wondering if this is the same horse." And it was. And she drove her trailer from Arizona to be reunited with this horse.
Wow.
And so that was one of our cool stories that, I mean, you just never know what's going to happen.
Wow, wonderful story. Okay, we're just about out of time. I was wondering if you could give us a website that viewers could go to for more information, and if there's a summating message you'd like to convey to the viewers.
Well, I always like to tell people everyone can help us in one of three ways. If you have time, we need you. Volunteer. If you don't have time but you have a little extra money, I am more than happy to take that from you. The horses eat a lot. And thirdly, if you don't have either time or money, like us on Facebook. You know, tell your friends about us. Help us get the word out about homeless horses and their needs. And our website again is www.calcoastalhorserescue.com.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Cathy.
Thanks, George. We really appreciate the time today.
This is George Alger signing off for this segment of Our Ventura TV. Until we meet again.